Picture this scenario. It's 3:03 in the morning.
Oh, I know this one.
The house is dead quiet. You are staring at the ceiling, completely exhausted, just desperate for sleep.
But your brain has other plans.
It is decided that right now is the perfect time to replay a 10-minute conversation you had with your boss yesterday afternoon.
The 3.0 a.m. theater. I know it well.
You're thinking, did I use the right grammar? Why did she look at her watch when I said that? Was she bored? Does she hate me?
Am I going to get fired?
Exactly. And suddenly, a 10-minute chat feels like this career-ending disaster. You know it's irrational, but you just can't find the stop button.
You're caught in the loop.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are tackling a monster that eats up our time and our energy, overthinking.
But we're doing it with a very specific lens. We're digging into a fantastic 3-part series from the channel Daily English Dive.
And this is a really interesting set of sources because it has, well, a dual mission, right?
It does. On one level, it's for English learners, people who want to master the language. But on a deeper level, it's a crash course in psychology.
It really is. It explores why our brains get stuck in these loops. And, maybe more importantly, it gives us the vocabulary to describe those feelings.
Which is often half the battle. If you can name the monster.
You can tame it. So, whether you're polishing your English or just trying to quiet a racing mind, this deep dive is for you.
We're going to cover the cow of rumination.
The tiger of negativity bias.
And finally, a toolkit of 7 science-backed solutions to get your brain to just chill out.
It's a journey from the problem to the solution, and it starts with a slightly gross medical term.
It really does.
Okay, let's unpack this. The sources mention a term used in psychology called rumination. It sounds very academic.
It does, but the origin of the word is, well, it's about livestock.
Cows.
It's about cows. A cow chews grass, swallows it, but then, and this is the part that might make you lose your appetite, it regurgitates it.
It brings it back up.
It brings the food back up into its mouth and chews it again.
That is a vivid image.
But it's the perfect analogy. We do the exact same thing with our thoughts. We chew on a worry, we swallow it, but then we bring it right back up to chew on it again and again.
But there's a key difference, isn't there? For the cow, that's actually productive.
Exactly. The cow is getting nutrition. It's survival. For us, it's just stress. We don't get any new information from chewing on that thought for the 50th time. We just get anxiety.
This leads to what the sources call the productivity myth.
Yeah.
I think this is where a lot of us get tripped up.
How so?
We feel like if we're worrying, we're doing something about it, you know? Like I'm solving this by thinking about it for 5 hours.
That is the trap. The sources have a great map analogy for this. Healthy thinking is like using a GPS.
Okay.
You look at the map, find the route, and you start driving. It leads to action.
But overthinking is just staring at the map.
Staring at the map, worrying about every single pebble, every possible detour, and you never actually start the car. You're just idling in the driveway.
Burning gas. They introduce a great term to this, analysis paralysis.
I love that term. You analyze so much that you become paralyzed. You're stuck.
It sounds like a medical condition, and honestly, sometimes it feels like one. But here's the question. Why is it that when we're staring at that map or lying in bed at 3:30 a.m., we're almost always thinking about the bad stuff?
The million-dollar question. And the answer is all about our evolution. The sources call it the negativity bias.
Okay, tell me about the tigers.
So imagine you're a human thousands of years ago. You hear a rustling sound in the tall grass. You have 2 choices.
Assume it's the wind or assume it's a tiger.
Right. And if you assume it's a tiger and run, but it's just the wind, well, you look a little silly, but you're alive.
But if you assume it's the wind and it is a tiger.
Game over. So the humans who survived, our ancestors, were the ones wired to assume the worst. They were constantly looking for danger.
So my brain is basically a safety system that hasn't had a software update in 10,000 years.
That's a great way to put it. Today, we don't have tigers, but we have late text messages. We have quiet bosses.
And our brain treats those with the same life or death intensity.
It does. The sources bring up blue bubble anxiety. You send a text, you see it says read, and then nothing.
For hours. And your mind just goes there.
It creates a mental horror movie. You don't think, oh, they're probably busy. You think, they hate me. I was offensive. They're mocking me in a group chat.
And the reality is usually so boring. They're at the gym.
Their phone died. But that tiger instinct creates a lot of unnecessary suffering.
So we have the cow chewing the cud and the tiger looking for danger. But there's another layer to why we get stuck. It's about memory.
Yes, the Zeigarnik effect.
This is fascinating stuff.
It really is. Bluma Zeigarnik was a psychologist who noticed that waiters in a cafe could remember these incredibly complex orders perfectly.
Until the bill was paid.
Exactly. Once the task was complete, they forgot the order instantly, so the brain holds on to things that are unfinished. It wants to close the loop.
So apply that to overthinking. If you make a mistake, like the source says, you accidentally say thank you instead of thank you.
Your brain sees that as an uncompleted task, a glitch. It keeps replaying it, trying to fix a moment that's already gone.
It keeps bringing the file back to your desk saying, hey, this isn't resolved.
And you can't resolve the past, so you're stuck.
This connects to that wonderful idiom, like a broken record.
A classic. And for our listeners learning English, a record was a vinyl disc for music. If it got scratched, the needle would skip back and play the same 2 seconds over and over.
That's the Zeigarnik effect.
It is.
And then, to make it all worse, there's the feedback loop from hell.
That's so accurate. It's meta-anxiety.
Anxiety about your anxiety.
You start overthinking, then you realize, oh no, I'm overthinking, this is bad for me, I need to stop. And then you get anxious because you can't stop.
And the cycle just speeds up.
The only way out of that loop, according to the source, is acceptance. Just acknowledging, okay, I'm overthinking, I'm human, not a robot, it's happening.
You stop fighting the fact that you're fighting.
Exactly. Now, since our source material is Daily English Dive, we have to talk about the language itself.
Right. Giving learners high-definition vocabulary.
This is so important. If you can only say, I am worried, that's a very broad label. But the sources offer much more nuanced phrases.
One that stood out was, my mind is racing. They compared it to a Formula One car with no brakes.
That's a great visual. It captures the speed, the lack of control. Another was, I can't get it out of my mind.
The sticky sticker analogy.
Yes. When you peel a price tag off a new glass and that sticky residue is left behind, that's what a worry feels like.
It's so tactile.
Yeah.
They also made a distinction between taking something to heart versus to the head.
Don't take it to heart.
It means letting a comment hurt your core identity. But taking it to the head is what?
It means you analyze it logically, you learn from it, but you keep it separate from your self-worth.
That's a life skill, not just a vocabulary lesson. But speaking of language, the sources also point out how certain grammar structures actually fuel our anxiety.
We basically use grammar to torture ourselves. 2 big culprits. The first is the what-if monster.
What if I fail? What if they don't like me?
The source points out that what if is a fake question. You're not actually looking for information, you're catastrophizing. You're inviting your brain to write that horror script.
And the second one is the time machine trap.
The phrase, I should have.
I should have said that. I should have been more careful. This one is so tricky because it feels like learning.
It does. It feels like you're scolding yourself so you'll do better next time. But the source is very clear. I should have leads to shame. It keeps you looking in the rearview mirror.
So what's the fix? How do you rephrase that?
You shift to, next time I will.
It's such a small tweak.
Yeah.
So I should have prepared more becomes,
next time I will prepare more. It shifts your focus from the past, which you can't change, to the future, which you can. It turns shame into a plan.
Grammar as therapy. I love that. Now, before we get to the solutions, I want to touch on some common mistakes the source mentions for English learners.
Because nothing fuels like worrying about your grammar while you're overthinking.
Right. A big one was, I have overthinking.
Yeah, in English, it's an action, a state. So you'd say, I am overthinking.
And the classic trap of bored versus boring.
A classic, the situation is boring, you feel bored. If you say, I am boring, you're insulting yourself.
Which we definitely don't want to add to the 3-point AM worry list.
Definitely not.
Okay, let's pivot. We understand the cow, the tiger, the broken record. How do we stop it? The source material gives us 7 simple solutions.
A whole toolkit. Let's do it. Solution number 1 is metacognition.
Naming the thought.
This is all about creating distance. So instead of thinking, I am a failure, you train yourself to say, I am having the thought that I am a failure.
It sounds subtle, but that changes everything.
It makes you the observer. You're watching the clouds pass. You are not the cloud. It separates your identity from the noise.
Okay. Solution number 2, the reality check. Time to put on our detective hats.
Exactly. Detective mode. You have to ask one simple question. Is this a fact or a feeling?
Let's use the boss example. My boss hates me. Fact or feeling?
Unless your boss sent a memo that said, I hate you, it is a feeling. It's an assumption. A detective looks for evidence, no evidence. Case closed.
I need to use that one. Solution 3 is a favorite of mine. Cognitive offloading.
The brain dump. The analogy here is perfect. Your short-term memory is like a small truck. It has a weight limit.
And if you pile too many worry boxes onto it,
the truck crashes. That's the feeling of overwhelm, so you write them down, you take the boxes off the truck.
And that act of writing signals to the brain that it's safe now.
It says, it's on paper, I don't have to spend energy remembering it. You free up your mental RAM.
It's amazing how much lighter you feel. Okay, number 4, the social mirror.
The talk to a friend rule. Thoughts in our head are like monsters in the dark. They seem huge.
But when you say them out loud, you drag them into the light.
And usually they shrink. Your friend can be that reality check for you. They can see the label from outside the bottle.
Solution number 5 brings the body into it. The vagus nerve.
Yeah, sometimes you can't think your way out of a thinking problem. A racing mind is often driven by a racing heart. Your body is in fight or flight.
So we breathe.
Specifically, slow breathing. The source suggests a 4-4-8 count. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and a long exhale out for 8.
And that long exhale tells your body,
we're safe. It physically calms the nervous system.
Solution number 6 is a rule I wish I learned 10 years ago, the wait until morning rule.
This is pure science. Decision fatigue. By 2 a.m., your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, the rational part, is asleep. It's off the clock.
So who's in charge?
The fear center, the amygdala. It's like leaving a scared child in charge of a nuclear power plant.
That's a terrifying thought.
The source says, never trust your thoughts after dark. They are just tired thoughts.
Tired thoughts. I like that label. Just dismiss them until the CEO is back online. And finally, solution 7, small action.
The motto here is motion creates emotion. Overthinking thrives on stagnation when you're just sitting still.
So if you're paralyzed by an email you need to send,
just write the subject line. That's it. Just break the seal of inaction. Action is the antidote to anxiety.
It's incredible how comprehensive this is. We've gone from the biology of the tiger to just writing a list.
And that's the power of this. It demystifies the experience. Overthinking feels so personal, like I'm the only one who's this crazy.
But it's not a character flaw.
It's just a machine acting up. You aren't broken. You just have a brain that loves to chew on grass and look for tigers.
And now you have tools to manage it.
You can name the thought. You can dump the boxes off the truck. You can wait until morning.
So here is the challenge for you, the listener. Pick one thing from this toolkit and use it today.
Maybe it's the brain dump. Or maybe just catching yourself saying, I should have, and changing it to, next time I will.
Or the small action. If there's something you've been dreading, just do the smallest possible part of it right now.
Don't just listen, do.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought about that cognitive offloading. Yeah. We talked about emptying the RAM in your brain so the truck doesn't crash. But think about this.
Okay.
If you actually cleared out all those worries, all that static, what would you have room for instead?
That's a beautiful question. What creative ideas, what happy memories, what new plans could fill that space if the worry wasn't squatting there?
That is something worth thinking about, but, in a healthy way.
Exactly. Don't overthink it.
Thanks for diving in with us today. Keep learning, keep breathing, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.
Goodbye, everyone.